Welcome to Leadership and Faith, and I am David Ade OBAYANJU, and it is such a privilege to be here with you today. I did a bit of study on the life of David, and I saw that there was a time he was attracted to by men that were depressed, that were dejected, people that were down and out. Fast forward to 2 Samuel 23, and the Bible calls them the mighty men of David. What was the secret that took them from being ordinary men to becoming mighty men? One point, and that is resourcefulness. The resourcefulness in the life of the leader, meaning the person David, was what made sure that those men that came to him did not remain the same. They changed. They became better people. Leadership is value-based influence. It's not just influence, it's influence for the purpose of achieving a set objective. Once you begin to manifest leadership traits of resourcefulness, people are going to come to you from everywhere. Every system is composed of men and women and you have to offer them some form of direction and some kind of inspired leadership. However, the challenge with modern day is that we have limited resources, limited time, limited human capacity, and limited resources in terms of material things. But the job of leadership is how do we take these limited resources and ensure that people that are around us, they get better, they become better. When a leader gets better, everyone on the team gets better. When the leader begins to adopt the system and the principle of resourcefulness, it will begin to affect the whole system as to how we do things. What exactly is resourcefulness? I checked through the dictionary, and one of the words that stands for resourcefulness is the word we call ingenuity, quick-wittedness, inventiveness, ability. Resourcefulness is from the root word resourceful. And what does it mean to be resourceful? It means that one has the ability to deal skillfully and promptly with new situations and difficulties. You are able to make the best of a bad situation. A resourceful person does not give up. A resourceful person does not come back and give excuses. They are able to find the best of that situation. A leader is therefore someone given to getting results. A one-man affair is how you help other people on the team to get results. But as a person, as an individual, we must possess the characteristics of leadership, which is what we call resourcefulness, the ability to make the best of a bad situation. The situation is not always bad, but sometimes things can go off course. Resourcefulness also means you have access to resources. You are full of resources. Then the way we make use of that resources is what we now term as resourcefulness. Being resourceful also means you being able to process information emotionally as well as intellectually. A person that is not resourceful become confused. They become overwhelmed. Why? Because they have not learned the power of problem solving. David did not just start by solving problems for those men. He solved his own personal problem. He said there was a time he was alone in the wilderness. The lion came. He said he took the lion out. The bear came. He took the bear out. He had an opportunity to run. He had an opportunity to escape for his life. But he decided that I am not going to give excuse to my father who has made me to be in charge of this sheep. I'm going to do my best, which is why he was able to write some of the most brilliant, sweet psalms, because they came out of his personal experience. If you're going to lead people from where they are to where they ought to be, you need to begin to practice resourcefulness in day-to-day activities. We need to acknowledge, number one, that you have something. You have something. If you are David, you have a sling and a stone. If you are Jesus, you have the 5 loaves and 2 fish. If you are Moses, you have the rod. You have something that God can use to take you to the next level. There is nobody that does not have something. He said, nevertheless, he has not left us without a witness, in that he did us good and he gave us fruitful seasons, satisfying our heart with good food. God has always given us something to work with. You may not have everything you think you need, but a closer look at yourself, you will realize that you have what you need to move to the next level. You have all the people, you have the outlier experiences, you have the resources to get started on your journey to influence. I like the word the outlier experience. If you have been through the book of Malcolm Gladwell, Outliers, he outlines that people that make tremendous progress in life, they have some form of stories. And guess what? If you look into your life, you have something that has given you an advantage. It could be your background, it could be the things that you have gone through, good, bad, ugly, whichever way it is. For you to be resourceful, you must be able to harness those experiences. Remember, leadership, as we call it, is value-based influence. You are trying to help people attain what they could not have attained themselves. Like I said earlier, a person that is not resourceful is likely to become overwhelmed. Being resourceful also means being good at problem solving, being able to come up with solutions, able to adapt well to difficult situations, and you are able to think creatively. Because if you have limited resources, how do you go from the limited resources to more? Is that the Bible says, by the acknowledgement of everything that is good in you, something is good about you and something is good about that situation. In that you cannot afford to give excuse. You are a leader. A leader does not mean you have all the answers, but you can find every means to make sure, because the answer you get as a person is not just for you, the answer you get is also for everyone that is attached to you. So I challenge you today to begin to find productive ways to solve problems in little ways. It develops your character as a person. One of the most beautiful things about being resourceful is that you don't get to talk about how something cannot be done. You are not of them that turn back to perdition, but you are of them that believe to the saving of the soul. So being resourceful is the way forward.